Now that's little Matthew McConaughey saying, "Hey, folks, we're live. We're about to record for Word on the Street and other programs." And I tell you what, guys, we're gonna have a great time with these stellar gentlemen as well. And so we're about to record. I'm just going to introduce you when we start recording, and
Okay.
I can't wait, folks. I can't wait for you to meet these incredible brothers. You probably know them already. It's another great Word on the Street. Hey, what does 38 Special, Leonard Skinner have in common? And a new fantastic Christian album as well. It's the Van Zant brothers. How you doing, Van Zant brothers?
Good. Everybody, man.
Guy,
Well,
guys,
great.
you know what? It's interesting all the things that are happening in the world right now. It seems like the world is going crazy, and yet in the midst of it all, you can still find your true north. Whether you're singing for Leonard Skinner or doing new things, man. You know what? Jesus is our true north. God is our true north. You've seen celebrities and stars and movie stars and authors and speakers on this show. I am so happy to introduce to you the Van Zant brothers, Donnie and Johnny. You know, Donnie, you co-founded 38 Special. Johnny, you're singing for Leonard Skinner. And guys, first off, thanks for being on Word on the Street.
Hey, thank you. It's our pleasure, man. And our conversation before this interview started, we should have been taping.
Well, I actually came across your new song, Always Look Up. That's the album. And I came across it on, I think it was TikTok. And I thought, man, those guys look familiar. And you're in this church and it's a well done video. And man, that's Van Zant. And, but I kid you not, it wasn't probably maybe within a couple of days that our friend Brian in Nashville contacted me. And would you like to interview Van Zant? Are you kidding? You better believe I'd like to interview Van Zant. I mean, guys, you have a musical dynasty and you're going strong. You have and always have. And my goodness, man, now you got this great song. Tell us about this new project.
I'll tell you what, brother. It's actually it's a part of the bucket list of things that we wanted to do. But this one happened to be at the top of the bucket.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it's just a joy to do it. It's something me and Johnny's been wanting to do for years, and we finally got to do it.
Man, our brother and our dad both love Jesus Christ, but our dad should have been a preacher, brother.
Yeah.
And he knew the Bible back and forth and preached to us. But of course, as kids, we kind of went in one ear and out the other. And then as life came by, and you start reaching out to God a little bit more, you're like, hey, I need him in my life. And so we've always been Christians. Did we live it? No. Not at all. And
but the seeds were there. The seeds were there that came around.
Yeah. Yeah, the seeds were planted many, many years ago. And to be honest, during the COVID shutdown, I didn't play any music for 15 months. And yeah, I know. I went, wow, it's hot in Florida because we live in Florida, and everybody's like, it's this way every summer, right? You're just not here. So, but man, we're sitting in our little studio. We call it Sulfur Water Studio because water smells like sulfur.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a joke. Anybody who comes down is like, man, your water smells really bad.
That's how it is here on the mountains, brother. That's how it is here on the mountain, man.
Studio Sulfur Water. We really started leaning into this whole thing back then,
During the pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, so because we had plenty of time, and to be able to do it. And God gave us that. If one good thing came out of that whole terrible dark time was this, and man, we're just so grateful. It's we had a song that came out first called Jesus Christ, and that particular song has been streamed and not streamed, but actually looked at on YouTube almost 700,000 times, and we're just like looking at the views of this and just being amazed by it.
Wow. It's interesting, guys, how many incredible artists They're not quote unquote Christian artists, but they're believers in Jesus. And my gosh, there's more than you know, folks, more than you think. But if they're too open about it, they'll be blackballed by Hollywood. They'll be blackballed by the mainstream music industry. But it's just interesting how many people that they climb the top of the ladder to success, and they achieve all the things that the world says you need to be happy, and they look over the edge, and there's nothing there. And sometimes we have to, we all have to come to the end of ourselves. We all have to come to the point where our faith becomes our own. And, Jonathan Cain, a lot of people don't realize that Jonathan is now doing worship with his wife, Paula White. But Jonathan, who wrote Don't Stop Believing, that was about his faith before Steve Perry, who, by the way, my friend led Steve Perry to Jesus in his driveway, Tim Miner. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. But there's just so much that you don't know, folks. Perception's reality. And it's just so nice that in a world of marketing and image and fluff and sleight of hand and media and all that you got real people. And these brothers, the Van Zant brothers, are the real people, a real deal. You go to vanzant.com or vanzantband.com. Buy every album you can.
You can also go to you can also go to our label and Frontier Records and check it out. But
something real. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But what you were just talking about, having all the wealth, the fame, and all of that, still something missing. We actually have a song on this CD called
"Praying."
Praying.
Yeah.
And it actually talks about what you just said.
Yeah. That you just said, you can win the world and lose your soul. What do you have?
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that. But we're here to encourage other artists. Hey, if you believe in Jesus, say it loud, say it proud. Come on.
Well, that's right.
Train with us.
That's right.
Train with us. We think, you know what? We think it's cool to love Jesus.
I think, heck yeah.
Cool to love our God.
Do you remember the bracelets people used to wear? What would Jesus do?
Yeah.
The little bracelets you could wear, the initials,
Yeah.
We actually wrote a song about that too,
Hey, man, you're writing a song about everything. I love it. Well,
write a song about you.
Hey, write a song about Fricker. Brant Frick. Hey, now it is talking about Leonard Skinner.
It stopped.
Did it stop?
Yeah.
There we go. Are you back? Are you back? Where are we at? Let me put on my glasses.
Froze up.
Or do you know?
His end, not mine. Oh, hey, there you are. You're back.
Hey.
I love technology. It's great when it works. When it doesn't, it doesn't.
Well, when you need technology, it doesn't work. And when you don't need it works all day long, man. But I was asking about that urban legend. Is Leonard Skinner the name of the gym teacher who told the founder he'd never amount to anything, or do you know?
Yeah. The original Leonard Skinner was coach of Robert E. Lee High School. And politically, they changed it, of course, since way back when, the name of the high school. He used to kick the guys out for having long hair, and back then, long hair was a little bit of hair over the top of your ears, So as a joke, I think Good Shepherd, which was a Christian dance thing that they did at a church here in Jacksonville. One night they just said, hey, in honor of Coach Skinner, who kicked us all out today for having long hair, we're going to rename the band instead of the 1% to Leonard Skinner. And they respelled it, of course, and did it a different way, man. But he was legendary down here in Jacksonville for a long time. Passed on. Yeah.
Wow. How would you like to have that legacy, of being the guy? I hope he was able to, smooth it over a little bit, or, all that. And now 38 Special, man. Again, man, let me just say this for everybody. They don't make music like they used to. They just don't, I mean, Well, they do now. You guys are making that music, but you know, I mean, my gosh, these guys have always been good, and I don't know. I grew up playing piano. A different story. I was a piano prodigy. Made a living at doing live music, and put out some albums and radio songs. Yada yada yada. Um, but you know what I noticed about the bands back in the day? They were always good, and
Yeah.
they just don't make music like that anymore
Yeah.
unless you go to vanzant.com or vanzantband.com, and I'm going to type this in. I'm going to go there as well. I've already gone to both the other sites. The label name again is, did you say Frontier?
Frontier
Records.
Yeah, Frontier. Yeah.
Frontier Records.
They're an Italian company. We had to go
Hey, all right.
to get this music out. You know?
Well, welcome to the family. Welcome to the did they make you an offer you can't refuse? Is that what happened? Well, guys, you know what would you say to people, musicians out there that have admired you through the years? And you know what? I know what I would say, but what would you say to them that they have aspirations to do music? And man, they have no idea how the music industry has changed now with streaming. I had a friend making 30 grand a month from royalties to $100 something because of streaming. It's a travesty what's happened with the internet and streaming and such. But for those who want to make music for the love of music, how would you encourage them today? All ages.
Wow. I would say believe in yourself first. You have to believe in what you're doing. I say if you're a young kid, get an education.
That's right.
Get an education first. And
Plan B. That's what we call it.
Even if you make it in this business, it says music business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you might want to know a little bit about it. So,
Yeah.
But believe in yourself, watch what you're signing, get a good lawyer. Good
not a divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
music lawyer would be
there's a story there. There's a story.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you real quick. I mean, it's a short one, but when 38 first got signed up, we were told to go get a lawyer. We actually did get a divorce lawyer.
Oh, Lord.
He goes, well, Mr. Van Zandt, it's all legal.
Yeah.
So what did we do? Sign it? And then years later, we had to buy the records.
Oh, my gosh, man.
And another thing to that lawyer thing, try to get a flat rate on them. Not an hourly rate. Flat rate.
Oh, my goodness.
But no, man, I think you just gotta love what you do, and we love it. I've had played with 38 for 40 years.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I had a blast doing it.
But I think start writing your own stuff. That's a good advice. You're not going to make it copying somebody else's music. You might be able to do a song or so, but you're going to need your own style and
dedication.
Yeah, dedication, and know that you just said it. Even writing songs and putting out an album don't mean that you're going to be able to make a living. You're going to have to stay on the road and go out and play live shows. That's where it's at right now, for musicians. It's being on the road. So
it's interesting though, because I'm 55. I did 7 albums, had some radio singles. I never really tried to be an artist. I was too busy, doing other things. I just loved music, and I love the reaction of people and the interaction of people, and it feels good to love music for the love of music again. But the only reason that I was able to make somewhat of a living with it is because I had a business mind, a marketing mind. I wanted the venue to do well that night. So I didn't go in trying to be discovered. I went in to do business, and that was the difference. But it's wonderful to play music for the love of music. And you know what? If you love Lynyrd Skynyrd, Southern rock, groove, feel, sound, you love 38 Special, who doesn't? Either one. There you are, and speak his name. You got to look at those videos on YouTube. You're going to get that same feel, and then some, because as you guys talked about shooting the videos in one of the churches, you really felt the Spirit of the Lord. Man, God's kissing what you're doing, guys.
Well,
Thank you
thank
very
you
much.
so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, we had a saying. We said, well, if we're doing this, we could touch one person, bring one person to Jesus. Wow. Then our job's done.
Well, I don't know about our job, but we said that it'd be
yeah, definitely.
Well,
But
you know what?
Jesus, like I said earlier, we think he's the coolest guy that ever walked this earth. So everybody else is just a little. We're nothing compared to him. So we want to spread the word.
You know what? Those who know him, and
Right. Yeah.
he saved me. He saved my dad. And I tell you,
Yeah.
I don't serve him for what he can do for me. It would take 10 lifetimes to even try to pay him back of
Sure.
what he's already done. But you know, guys,
Yeah.
you reap what you sow. What comes around goes around. And I know that you're going to be blessed for using your talents and your influences to bless others. You know, you never know, folks. Have you ever been that person 3 o'clock in the morning with Jack Daniels in one hand and a gun in the other? I've been there.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
Jesus. It was Jesus. And look, let me tell you, man. Proverbs 16:3, guys. Commit to the Lord what you do, and your plans will succeed. You have already been successful. You're already successful, even in the eyes of the world. But I just pray and declare that you have a tenfold success and prosperity for the sake of reaching more people. You know, there's people who love things and use people, and you've seen that throughout the industry and throughout the world. But then there's people who love people and use things. If you didn't love people, you guys wouldn't have done this album, and
Sure.
much less your videos and shot in a church as well. And there's people that are hungry. You know, even when I was playing piano in bars, you know what the number one requested song was? You'd think it'd be Sweet Home Alabama, but you know what the number one requested song was? Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. There you go.
Amazing Grace, because we all know. Now
Yeah.
I did a little rocking style, but we all knew we needed it.
Yeah.
And isn't it wonderful, man? Yeah.
You've heard of Anthony Oliver, right?
I've heard the name, but I won't pretend to know anything about him. No.
Yeah, he was like a big. He was on the internet playing a song about working and stuff, but he comes out. He opened for Skinner just recently. Came out. Now this is a rock show. You know, a bunch of people out there, people having drinks, whatever else they do, and but good people, great people. Awesome people. But he came out, opened up a Bible, and quoted some verses, and then he said, "Now we can play. Shut the Bible down." I thought that was the coolest thing. Oh my Lord! I said, you know what? But it was a great thing. You know, I thought, what a wonderful thing to do. So
you know what? You've seen some interesting things through the years, and I've got to interview a good handful of incredible musicians like yourselves and singers, and we all know, I have an ad agency, so we all know it's perception's reality, good or bad, happy or sad, righteous or evil. But when you meet people of substance and they're able to leverage the language of this culture, which is the media, but they're able to do positive with it. You know, we are told that Lucifer is the prince of the power of the air. And when we're doing what we're doing right now, when you guys shoot your videos, when you do your music, when you release it to the world, to the airwaves, you're taking back territory that belongs to God. And you're doing warfare against the Prince of Darkness, who's not hiding anymore. You can see his witch. Yeah. I was dealing with a witch this morning. You see their ceremonies on the Grammys. You've seen you're starting to hear all the stories that you thought were boogeymen, and they turn out to be true. And you guys, man, how were you able to bypass that? I'm glad that you were, but what were some of your experiences in saying no to the dark side of the industry, or did you have to encounter it?
I think for us, I think I can speak for Donnie. We danced with that guy before, and we came to a conclusion. For me, I look at the cross and I go, boy, it goes straight up and down. and a cross. I said, either I can take a left or a right, or I can keep going straight to heaven. And for me, that's where my faith came in. And to be honest, I had a daughter who passed from the C word, not COVID. And that time really brought me back to Jesus, because when you're a parent, you lose a child, it's very abnormal.
Wow.
And, you have to lean on the cross. You have to go, you know what, there is a better place. And I got to work my way there, because, hey, I always say I'm a sinner, but I'm a true believer. Every day somebody will pull out in front of me and I'm like, oh, okay. So, that's the problem. I think, with younger kids, they want to have fun. They want to go out and party, do their thing. And that's why I said Jesus is cool to us. You can still be yourself. And on the weekend, if you want to go out on the boat and have a nip and tuck, then that's fine. That's not bad. It's all in moderation. And
Right.
For us, man, we're such believers. We wrote a song called Jesus Christ, about the crucifixion of Christ and the resurrection. And over here on my wall is a picture of Jesus. And we stare at that all the time and think of what he did for us and what it means to us. And so for us, also on the CD, there's a song called I'm a Warrior. And
there you go. I love it. Yeah. Now you're speaking on my language even more. Yeah. I'm a warrior. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, again, it's talking about fighting for the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
There's
and Satan's like a lion on a prowl, bro.
Yeah.
He's out to kill, steal,
destroy your family, so you got to fight him every. And you know what? If you feel like you're going to do something wrong, or you feel that weird vibe that he's around, just say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. There you go. I love it. I love it. Now listen, I'm going to tell you a little part. There's a little breakdown on this song, and you'll love it. It goes, put me in a cage, a downright brawl. Me and the devil, let's see who falls. I'm a warrior.
You know what? Guys, we've already got a great time for our interview. Yeah. But if you would indulge me for about 5 more minutes or a little less, Jesus, we know Jesus, we love Jesus, but you may not know the connection Jesus has with rock and roll. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it. Hey, the old saying is, you're never too old to learn something.
Hey, I'm 55, and this old dog's learning new tricks.
Hey, me and Donnie just want to tell you, you're a baby.
Okay, so I get to tell the Van Zant brothers a connection about Jesus and rock and roll or music. Here you go. So remember when Jesus raised a young man from the dead in front of his mother at the funeral procession? Yes. We don't know what the Roman Senate annals said about that. Mm-hmm. Jesus had healed a Roman senator. This isn't the Roman Senate annals. Every year you got that lame time life. Was Jesus real? Of course they know he's real. He is in the Roman Senate annals. They knew him. They loved him. In the Vatican, the Roman Senate annals loved him. The people, the Romans and Tiberius particularly. But they called him the Theophus. His name was Yesu. J hadn't been invented yet. So before it was Jesus, and he answers to Jesus too, folks. But in the Greek, it's Yesu. Well, Yesu, Jesus, he was a stonemason. Not a whole lot of wood around Jerusalem when they crucified all the men with Antiochus Epiphanes. So he was a stonemason, known for getting projects done early and on time as well. And he did some woodwork, but the Roman Senate annals have more about Jesus than your Bible does. And so Jesus was invited by this Roman senator, Licinius Apollonius, and to come to this day of tribute. Once a year, Tiberius, he wasn't a good emperor, but he was a good warrior. Tiberius had a procession of the unknown soldier. Basically, it was the day of tribute. Well, any soldier who had died within 2 weeks of the day of tribute, they would do the procession with his body. They have their priests and they have their trumpets and all their to Jupiter and Apollo and Zeus. And so anyway, Jesus was late. He was late a lot. He did his projects on time, but he was late a lot. And he met them on a toll road in Nain, the Roman outpost of Nain. He sees the procession. He sees Licinius Apollonius. Licinius probably going, "Oh man, he's late again," because he healed the guy that was raised up. Yeah, man. But he was right on time. People say, "Well, God's never early." God's seldom early, but he's never late. No, God's never early, folks. He's right on time. Well, get this. He stops the procession. Bad idea. Tiberius said, anyone who stops the day of tribute procession, you kill him with a sword. He stopped the procession. Licinius is going, "Oh my gosh, I'm sure." He saw compassion on the mother who was a widow, and he raised a Roman soldier from the dead. His name is Marcus Infatius. The senator told Tiberius, "This guy needs to be your bodyguard." He was the bodyguard, part of the Praetorian for Tiberius. He died during the reign of Nero, and for another emperor as well. Marcus's son was Gaius Infatius, who saved the writings of Paul from the Alexandrian fire. So his son saved the New Testament. It gets even better. His grandson, Melodius or Melodius, had a dream about Jesus. And Jesus said, "Make music worthy of me." He raised the scale half a step to major key. And where we got our version of the treble clef, melody, came from the grandson of the man Jesus raised from the dead.
Wow.
So hey, folks, you rock those major key power chords. You man, Jesus, come on now. And yeah, isn't that amazing?
It's funny that you say that, because I started playing a little bit of guitar back in 2020, but up to that point, the only thing I heard was melodies. I mean, I heard music too, but I knew, okay, that's what I think it should be, but I couldn't play it.
Can I tell you something real quick before he finishes? He drives me crazy with these.
I'm all the time.
I can't keep
all the time hearing melodies. So that's a great story. Awesome.
Well,
that's awesome.
Guys,
it sounds
guys,
like you know a lot about the Bible, and you've read a lot. And I wanted to tell you something. I was watching this thing the other day. I wish I'd remembered, but the guy was talking about books. He was talking about the Bible. He said, "Well, the Bible's so hard to understand, for some people. Hey, I have a hard time with it, But," he said, "think about this. If you read a book, you go to Barnes and Noble, you get a book, you read it. What do? You put it on the shelf because you understood it all. God made that book where you had to keep coming back to it. To get those treasures. Each time you come back to the Bible, you learn a little bit more. You take it and go, oh, wow, that's what that was about. Oh, wow, I got another meaning from it. So it's a very cool thing. Yes, yeah.
Oh, man, you guys, such an honor to interview you. I can't wait. Please, let's do it again.
Yes, sir.
Van Zant, Fricker. Hey, we're probably related. Maybe we can start a law firm. Have you been hurt by religion? Call Van Zant and Fricker today. You may be entitled to a settlement of a heavenly, I don't know. But go to vanzant.com. Go to vanzantband.com. Go to frontierrecords.com. Buy everything you can. Go to every show you can. I don't know, man. What if people just want to send you money? Hey, my God, you guys are in the ultimate mission field because you're pulling children out of the fire, and you're encouraging people to use. Lucifer loves musicians for a reason, because he was one and is one. But you know what? Let God put His strings on your instrument. Let Him be the maestro that plays the instrument of your heart. Let's be a part of His orchestra or His rock and roll band, playing, the ultimate rock, right? Playing those power chords that Jesus inspired. the major keys. Every country that Jesus has been preached has major key music when they became one. That's not a coincidence. But guys, you know what? You're inspirational. You continue to be. I can't wait to see what you're going to do next. So thank you so much for joining Word on the Street. Can't wait to talk to the Van Zant brothers again. Pray God's blessing over you and your family and your children and children's children to 1,000 generations, man. You guys, thank you for using your incredible talents for encouragement and for our King.
God bless you, sir.
Yes, sir. Been a pleasure, my friend. Thank
We'll
you,
see you
brother.
next time.